thought that they had a lot of great ideas, and they actually had thought through a lot more details than I had expected that they would have.
So it takes a lot of guts for these young entrepreneurs to come up in front of a bunch of strangers and talk about their business.
Having kids getting involved in entrepreneurship at a young age is fantastic.
Canada needs to become a knowledge-based economy, and that needs to start with students.
Okay, so originally when you're buttering corn, like it gets so messy, like you're always getting butter on your hands. So we came up with a new cool way of how to do it, and we can show you.
So our pitch was about the butter stick, which is just a plastic tube that's filled with butter, and you turn the end, the butter comes up similar to a glue stick, and it's nice and simple, no mess, and no knife to clean up afterwards.
I think Venture Ed, one of the goals of it is to open up a whole other venue or whole other area of potential career choices for students in the future by thinking, well, yeah, I can do this, and this is why we want to connect them with local entrepreneurs. We want to seed their ventures, and we want to have people coming into the high schools to breed that creative, innovative spirit.
There's games and there's contests and there's music videos.
On Monday we had two associate producers from CBC's Dragon's Den, Michelle and Lindsay, come down to work with the students in a really interesting and dynamic session.
We were invited to come here today to help give some feedback to the students and to judge their presentations and give them some tips before they go to the final presentation.
They brought clips from the show and they showed 3 pitches, and after each pitch they'd sort of pause it and explain to the kids what was working and what wasn't working in there and give them some tips.
Hear thousands of pitches and the person is still talking and they've passed a couple minute mark and we're just like, can we try it? Can we see it? Can we touch it? Can we taste it? Like, why talk about it if you have it? Show us, right? So that was amazing.
And each of the groups that were competing in the Innovation Challenge had a really interesting opportunity, which was to do their pitch in front of the Dragon's Den producers and get some feedback from them with the intention that they'd come back. Today what happened was the students returned to North Grenville to compete for the $2,000 in seed capital that we'd raised from the local Community Futures Development Corporations, and the kids presented their materials in front of 3 prominent business people who were the ones who made the decision about who won the seed capital.
We're looking for coaches.
We're learning how to advertise and what types of things we need to research to make our product successful.
Yeah, we learn how it is, what you have to do to get a product on the market. It's a lot more work than you think.
Most of what we're talking about when we're talking about 21st century learning is actually skill development, because the knowledge itself has become universal, basically, right? It's what you do with the information and how you can access that information and then use it to your own purposes to do something new or interesting, exciting. The venture education idea, or the concept, actually has sort of 4 parts to it, and the Innovation Challenge that we've been talking about is just one piece of it. And what we envision is actually having different forms of competitions at different grade levels. The idea is that it will be progressive. The second part of the plan is that we've established a website which has some curricular resources for teachers and for students to access. The third component of the project is a mentors network. The idea there is that we want to have a large group of volunteers in a wide variety of areas and expertise that our students will be able to tap into when they come up with an idea. And the fourth part is we want to get back into the business of running economic forums. The idea there is to bring students, entrepreneurs, and economic development people together with the intent that it will open up all sorts of worlds to the kids that they might not have considered otherwise. I think another important element or aspect of the Venture Ed program is the fact that it's not purely a business program. It is purposely designed to promote both for-profit and not-for-profit ventures. Our feeling is that when you look at those 2 types of entities, what's required of them is sort of 90% the same. You need a business plan, you need a marketing plan, you need to gather resources, you need to communicate with people. Really the difference is, what do you do with the money at the end? And whether you're using that money to support an arts festival, or you want to support an orphanage in Haiti, or you want to be the next Bill Gates or whomever you want to choose, and make your fortune in software, all of that is good as far as we're concerned, because you're still meeting the central elements, which is that you're being creative and you're engaging with the world in a meaningful way. One of the elements of the board's living credo, which really speaks to Venture Ed, is that we will be responsive to our communities and to their economic needs. We believe that if we have kids working on ventures here, and we're providing them with seed capital, we're connecting them with people who work at the local enterprise center, we're connecting them with a mentor from the community, that when they go off and if they go to school or do their additional training and whatnot, when they're thinking, well, where am I going to start my business? Well, they're going to start in Eastern Ontario because they know the players, they know who they can talk to, they know who's going to give them the support. And let's be honest, the quality of life here is excellent. It's a really affordable place, it's a great spot to start a venture. And we feel by building these sort of resources for them, by building the scaffolding while they're still in high school, we're going to get them back later on. The ultimate goal, frankly, of Venture Ed, and by my own admission it's ridiculously ambitious, is to transform the economy of Eastern Ontario, where innovation is the default rather than the exception, where our students feel empowered and connected to the world around them, kind of living out the dream and living a life less ordinary.
Coming here today was better than a Dragon's Den audition. Everyone was way more prepared, and I don't know. It was the standard, it was higher standard. When we go back to all the other producers on Dragon's Den, we'll tell them that it was a little bit better than what we even see in an audition on a regular day.
Definitely, and that I think the high school students in Eastern Ontario have set the bar pretty high for our auditions next season.
Mm-hmm.
The future of our economy is in Upper Canada District School Board classrooms today.